Hello there, my wonderful people. Hope you're enjoying your wonderful Friday. Today we are going to dive into a discussion with you and your classmates about the unjustness and unfair treatment of blacks throughout history. You can use inferences from your own lives. You can use tales and stories that you've heard before. And you can also use information that we've provided for you throughout this unit. Specifically, we want to address injustices as they have been attributed to European colonialization and also apartheid in South Africa. So over the course of the last several days, we've talked about the impact of European colonialism within Africa itself, what some of those retributions were to the people along the coasts of Africa and the inland African communities as they were forcibly transplanted to new parts of the world and forced to work for nothing, uprooting their lives and their culture along the way. So, as far as today, there are 3 different articles that you can choose to read. The first 2 you may listen to as well, but they just talk about some of the things that South Africa has instituted over the course of the last 10 years in discussions and in practice to try and rectify some of the unfairness that the white minority population has done to the people of South Africa. The first article talks about 25 years after apartheid, and it's a quick interview of South African leaders and how they are trying to redress the land rights of the country since the ending of apartheid, trying to give power back to the black people of South Africa, the black majority, by offering different arbitrations of land and land use. The second article discusses the unfinished business of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and this one you can also listen to. But it talks about people who feel like their justices have not been heard, have not been fair. And then the last article deals with new land reform that's trying to empower black farmers to get a fresh start in South Africa. Now, with all these things going on, all of these are trying to rectify horrible situations of the past. So I have 3 big questions for you. And you can answer one or all 3 of these within your discussion because they may more directly relate to you. First of all, do you think that forcibly taking land away from South Africa and giving it to the black majority will help heal the nation faster? Will those things make up for the wrongs that were done in the past by taking lands away from whites and giving it to the blacks? Secondly, to think about, do you think giving blacks who are affected by the slave trade or apartheid money will help ease that pain that history has caused? And we're talking about in the U.S. or in South Africa. Does giving money to those families and those ancestors of slaves, does that rectify the situation? Does that fix anything? Does it help? And lastly, what is the best way for nations like South Africa and the USA to move forward with race relations after having such a dark past? There are 1,000 different ways to do this, while at the same time, arguments have ensued on the best way to move forward. So, in general, your generation is pretty savvy with trying to talk things out and fix problems. And kids generally have the best ideas in comparison to some of our politicians. So for this discussion today, hit the reply button below and give me your best answer to how to move forward in a world where we're healed and we're all one people. Thank you for your time today. After you submitted your reply, you'll be able to see the replies of your classmates. Please comment on 2 others with at least a full sentence in reply to get your full 5 points for today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week for one class before Thanksgiving. Have a great one.